So everyone comes on down to Houston to change their life and try to excel, but one small distraction can lead you on the path of spiraling right on down to hell. Let's discuss. Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is the young prince by the name of Beasley. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So, random video today. I've actually wanted to talk about this for quite some time. I wanted to let time go on because, I love my city. I'm from Houston, born and raised, just like Beyonce. But just like Beyonce, even she had to flee her own kingdom. Y'all, Houston has become complete trash. Houston, we dearly have a problem because nothing out here makes sense anymore. And ever since COVID, things have just gone down to the damn floor. Houston has literally become the pits. This city ain't it. Now, if you're not from here, you may think it's it because now all of a sudden it's a party city out of nowhere, but I will say that me as somebody who grew up in this city sees the change and sees how low the vibrations are now to a point where this needs to be called out. Y'all, I'm fed up. Just completely fed up with the chicanery and the BSery that goes on out here. So let's go ahead and discuss it all, shall we? So a little backstory about me. I grew up in Cypress. I was a Cypress kid, the suburbs of Houston, one of the most racially diverse areas of Houston. And I will say a lot of people don't consider Cypress a part of Houston because it's 30 minutes on the outskirts, but other people and us Cypress people consider it a part of Houston. Houston has no zoning, so there's a bunch of different suburbs on the outskirts of Houston, and they're literally like mini cities, and they're built up now to a point where you don't have to really venture into the city of Houston. But I was born in Houston. I was born downtown in some Houston Methodist hospital, whatever is on my birth certificate, but I will say that I've always loved being from Houston and being from Texas. Growing up in Cypress, you didn't really have to leave that area for anything. So we only ventured into the city every now and then for let's say events, concerts, basketball games, or to go to the Galleria. We're going to get into the Galleria. I like to call it Galahood. I didn't really start venturing into Houston up until my early 20s. That's when I got a job at the Galleria after college, and that's when I started going out more, going out almost every single weekend, having a blast, having a good time. I literally graduated from Midtown up into Washington Avenue, and then I started to feel myself, my gayness a little bit more, and I started venturing into Montrose. It was truly a time to be had in Houston, but however, after COVID, I literally see a complete negative shift. The first negative thing I want to talk about in Houston is the driving. Y'all, the driving is absolutely atrocious. The driving was terrible before COVID, but after COVID, it's gotten even worse because every single person from every single leg of this country and other countries is coming down here, and they realize that, oh wait, this is a Hot Wheels racetrack. First off, this city is big. Big as I don't know what, bigger than the Roman Empire. This place is ridiculously big. Everywhere in Houston takes 30 minutes. Even if it says 19 minutes on the GPS, it's still 30 minutes. Houston is literally 30 minutes away from Houston. Y'all may think that's a funny meme, but that's a real thing. Everything in this city is so spread out and so far for no reason. Y'all, in my line of work, I have to drive to the Woodlands every single week. I live, I want to say 15 minutes from the Galleria. So imagine driving from there all the way to the Woodlands. That drive needs to be studied because even when I'm driving, the GPS keeps upgrading the time, upgrading the arrival time. Every single time I'm driving, I see an extra 10 or 15 minutes added to that trip. And during that trip, you're going to be ducking and dodging people, cutting you off and almost hitting you at every single turn, you guys. And a lot of people are like, why is the driving so bad here? It's because the driver's education is bad here. I kid you not, my final driver's test was literally driving this man to the sandwich shop down the street. I just had to make a few turns across the block, down the block, and then bam, I got my driver's license. Y'all, I don't know what they're teaching these kids in driver's ed these days. I don't even know if they still have driver's ed in high school, but I will say they might not be teaching them shit because the driving in Houston is still shit. Ugh, I cussed already. Oh well. Y'all, it's so funny. Whenever the Louisiana leg of my family comes here, they do not want to drive at all. They literally Uber everywhere because they just cannot deal. They cannot deal going from that small town onto this big town. And a lot of people that come here either didn't drive in their town or are coming from a small town. And they come here and they're just like startled and scared, and that just makes everything just go to shit on the freeway. Another bad thing about this city is the weather and the heat. First off, the heat is absolutely ridiculous. If you don't have AC in your car, you will not go far. Now y'all, global warming is a motherfucker. A big motherfucker that everybody tries to ignore. But the heat and humidity in Houston is absolutely worse than the Sahara Desert. Worse than Nigeria. Hell, even my parents went to Dubai last year and they said they had nothing on Houston's heat. Because Houston's heat is just lingering, it stings, and the sun that beams here needs to lose some weight.
It is 91,000 damn degrees. I am sitting right next to my air conditioner. Right next to it. It is on the lowest temperature on the highest damn speed. Okay? 64 degrees and it's on turbo. What the fuck do I need to put this bitch on? Power Ranger? This is fucking unacceptable. I did not sign up for this. When I prayed during the winter months, I asked the Lord to make it warm. I did not say, Lord, please bring the devil from hell and have him sit his ass crack on earth. That's not what I asked for. That is not what I requested.
Y'all, nothing tops the summer of 2023. When I tell you guys, that was the one summer I stayed inside almost every single day. I literally skipped the rest of a family reunion because they wanted to have a park day. Like, I just could not, even with the heat out here. Y'all, literally that year, my cousin that moved here said they went to the park on a Saturday and there was nobody in sight. That's how hot it was. A park on a Saturday during summer. And then on top of the heat, the flooding and the rain is absolutely out of control. We have literally normalized having a mini hurricane out here every single time that it rains. Y'all, the other day I was on to work and I was on I-10, big ass, wide ass I-10, and literally it looked like there was water coming up to my car. Like the whole entire freeway was about to flood on the way to work. It literally took me an extra 30 to 40 minutes to get to work. Nobody could see, nobody could drive, and everybody was worried about their cars. Everybody had their hazard lights on. It was scary. Like, I legit was traumatized. Y'all, I never thought I would see the day that a big ass city like Houston would literally be underwater. During Hurricane Harvey, we were legit underwater. And then after that, we've normalized all this flooding to just say, oh, that's just rain. Y'all, it's crazy that even like as early as 6 months ago, I was driving and visiting my friend downtown and it was a clear day, but out of nowhere, the rain just came down like a tsunami. And I legit thought my car was about to be totaled because the water was just coming up. Like, it was coming up to where my hip was. And this was just a random ass Wednesday, you guys. I can't believe how the flooding out here is now normalized. And I don't even want to get into the winter storm back in 2021 because I was legit traumatized. I legit thought I was going to die. And circling back to the driving, the traffic is also atrocious. Now, the traffic was always bad in Houston, but ever since after COVID, things got complete worse. Now, you guys, like I said, I noticed the shift after COVID in regards to Houston just going downhill because during COVID, we were like the only city that was open. Like, we were shut down for probably like 2 weeks, and then after that, Governor Hot Wheels was like, you know what, open it back up. So we stayed open during COVID, cool, but that made everybody look at us and like, oh, let's come down here and act a fool.
Bro, Houston do not motherfucking play. Bitch, they be out the fuck side. It's Monday now. It's 3 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. They going to another spot. Y'all done got work? Like, what the fuck do y'all do out here? Like, it's crazy. I ain't never seen no shit like this. And I love it. I don't never want to leave. I love it here. Like, Houston is my home.
Y'all, during and after COVID, Houston turned into a party city. Now, to me, Houston, I always had fun going out in Houston, but Houston never gave party city to me at all. Houston to me was always low-key boring. Like, yeah, the clubs were fun and the restaurants were fun, but that was it. Houston, to me, never gave vacation destination, birthday destination, you name it. I actually started working back in retail in 2021, and I got so many customers saying like, oh yeah, I just came here. I'm from Cali. Oh, I'm from New York. I'm from Chicago. Oh, I'm from London. Yo, everybody came down here and flooded this place out, flooded it out, and now it's what we have. And since people have moved here, the crime has increased tremendously. Now, I blame you bad apples from New York and Chicago coming down here and just doing whatever, whoever. But I will say, there was always crime in Houston. Cool. But it was never in your face. The crime was always covert. Like, you would hear about it on the news, but you would never see the shit. Now, you are legit seeing the shit. But the biggest indicator of the crime in Houston is the decline of the Galleria Mall in Houston. Now, the Galleria Mall used to be just like the big epicenter, big central hub of Houston where everybody came to congregate. Back in the day as a kid, the Galleria used to give, nigga, you ain't up on this. But now it's giving a low-key luxury version of Greenspoint Mall and Sharpstown Mall. And if you're from Houston, you know what Greenspoint and Sharpstown is. They used to call Greenspoint Guns Point. Now, I used to work at the Galleria Mall, and even last year when I worked for Fenty, I would have to go there for events. The Galleria Mall is the absolute pits.
If y'all are in Houston, I just want to spread some awareness because the nice lady in the store just told me something I haven't seen on the news. If you come into the Galleria, have you some protection, something, either the Mousker tools, some pepper spray, a nice little blade on you, something. This lady just told me, be safe going out in these parking lots and all of them because somebody just got raped, how y'all say it, in the red parking lot. Somebody got in the brown parking lot. The whole family was taken out of here. I say, oh, let me get out of here because what's going on?
I still go there to get my eyebrows done, and my old coworkers would fill me in on all the crime and chicanery that's going on. They told me the last time I was there that somebody got shot in one of the parking lots. A girl recently got SA'd in the parking lot, which they tried to keep under wraps. There's been reports of sex trafficking going on there. I've seen prostitutes there. You see drug deals going on there, and it's just like, what the hell happened?
His ankle came off.
Yo, I literally worked at Saks and they were selling weed at Saks. Then on top of that, I worked in the beauty department right next to the bar, and we will always see streetwalkers at the bar looking for their next baller shot caller. Especially with the fact that that bar area was a celebrity hub and everybody would try to go there to try to get a rub. And speaking about the prostitution, now Houston was always the homes of the players and pimps, but now it's the home of the hoes and the simps because not even just women are doing it, a lot of men are doing it too. A lot of men are selling dick and ass. Like, y'all, even when I was on dating apps, I would talk to somebody and they would be like, oh, well, how much are you paying? And I'm just like, paying for what? And the guy would literally be like, oh, I'm gen. I'm gen only. As in, gen stands for generous. Like, I accept generous men only. And I'm just like, so you literally had this conversation with me like we're about to like start talking or even like linking up and you're like, oh, I accept debit. But the rise of debauchery and prostitution has led to the rise of HIV cases going up. Now, you guys, it's crazy to say, but Houston is now literally the new Atlanta. A few months ago, there was this trans woman that literally exposed the DL list, and it exposed a lot of men on that list, a lot of men that she was talking to. The whole dynamic with that is confusing to me, but it is what it is. There are a lot of DL men in Houston, and a lot of DL men are messing with other men, and they're taking whatever they get from that man back to their wives.
I am begging you to put yourself first and be safe out here when HIV is at an all-time high. I know that there was a TikTok story of a nurse saying that she had a patient who just moved to Houston, and he's like, oh, I've been with all these DLs while their wives are away, while their girlfriends are away, and, you know, this and that, whatever. And HIV is at an all-time high right now. Like, it is crazy what, you know, that we have to make these calls. And I could only imagine having to get that call. But people do not care. People don't, they play this as a joke, and it's not a fucking joke. We had a man come into the clinic, and he was an older gentleman. And as soon as he comes in, he's like just making jokes about the whole thing. Like, oh, I need an STI panel, blah, 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 this and that. And I asked him, ID and insurance information. He's like, no insurance. It needs to be off the books. What do you mean it needs to be off the books? Like, who are you hiding from? Gets his stuff done, leaves, checks out. We have to collect payment. I ask him if he needs a receipt. He's like, no receipt. I don't need any proof. Who are you hiding this from? Granted, he did come out positive for something too, which I'm sure he's not going to go home and tell him because he doesn't want any proof, right?
It's crazy because the HIV rates in Houston have gone up 17% and the syphilis rates have gone up 125%.
Houston is facing a quiet crisis, rising rates of HIV and STIs, especially in communities of color.
And now the very services meant to protect vulnerable residents are being scaled back as federal funding really hangs in limbo. HIV, a virus we know how to prevent, is up 17%, and syphilis cases in Harris County are up 125% since 2016. Hotspots include Montrose, downtown Houston, Kashmir Gardens, and OST South Union. And now some community clinics say they've had to pause their free testing just as infections are rising. KPRC2's Ricky Munoz has more.
Earlier this year, we reported on HIV cases rising, especially in areas like Montrose, a community where free testing has been a lifeline. Now, some of these programs are being put on pause, causing many people to put their health on hold.
I've been living with HIV for 30 years now. Everyone I knew with HIV died. And without access to these programs, our lifespan may not be like it is today. It could be severely jeopardized because you don't have access to medications or medical treatment.
Texas is bracing for $119 million in federal cuts, including $25.5 million for HIV prevention, treatment, and emergency preparedness.
And then straight men giving it to their wives is not even just a DL thing. A lot of these men that are with a girlfriend or a wife are literally going overseas and getting some love, getting rubbed, and taking it back to their wives. That whole passport bro epidemic. A lot of people forgot about that epidemic, but it is definitely still alive. And then on the gay side of things, gay men, we love sex. We love sex. A lot of us growing up were not able to express that we love same-sex sex. But once a lot of gay men are able to express that they like the same sex, they go out and they just want to sample every piece of ass and ride every ride in sight. And since other gay men see that in other gay men, they create a center for gay men to meet up and have sex. Y'all, in Houston, there is an abundance of sex parties in Houston for gay men. There is a huge abundance. Even on the dating apps, they promote it like it's nothing. There are literally sex party promoters on these dating apps that will hop in your DMs and invite you to their party if they like what they see. A lot of these promoters are on a recruiting spree. And never mind the fact that it's Pride Month. So Pride Month, it's amplified. So a lot of gay men go out and ride every single ride. Y'all, I hate to tie HIV to the gay community, but especially down here in Houston, it has been severely normalized. And I can even speak for myself. Like, I actually briefly dated a guy who I later found out had HIV. Like, after 3 weeks of dating, he revealed to me that he had HIV. And when he told me, y'all, I was stunned. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, he was literally on this floor and I was on this couch. We were watching a TV show and he told me that, and I was just like, oh my God, like, what do I do? I literally thought about it for a few days and I was like, you know what? I like your vibe, you're cool, and on top of that, you're the first person I've actually seriously dated in probably like 6 years. I felt like he was sent to me to teach me a lesson of acceptance. Like, I went through a mini journey of like really like accepting him and embracing somebody that had HIV, because I was very immature. Like, before encountering somebody with the virus, I was very just like, ew, get away from me. But after educating myself, and of course with me being on PrEP, I was like, you know what, I still want to continue down this journey. But y'all, when you give somebody a chance, they always show you why you should have followed your intuition. Because now, it wasn't even really about him having the virus. I had accepted it at this point, but it was the sheer fact that he walked away because he was like, oh, things got too serious. And then he tried to gaslight me in saying that, like, basically, like, it's not normal for me to not have the virus. This man literally gaslit me and compared me to his ex, saying that things were a lot easier for him and his ex because his ex had the virus as well. But with me, somebody who doesn't have it, like, I don't want to have to use condoms. Like, that's what he said to me, and I was just like, okay. And y'all, that also brings me to dating. Dating in this city feels damn near impossible. And not even just on the gay side of things, dating overall feels completely impossible. If you live in Houston and you have somebody, hold on to them for dear life, because when I tell you there's nothing but shit in these streets.
Is dating in Houston different than in other cities? Because it is for me. Or am I alone on this? Ladies, I need you to explain this. Is it a completely different experience? I find that dating in Houston is different from dating in Los Angeles, from dating in Louisiana, from dating in outside of the country. Like, Houston is a little bit different. Am I tripping? It's a lot of opportunistic people. It's a lot of people that are not looking for commitment. It's a lot of people that just want a roster. It's a lot of people that have their hands in a lot of different pots. I've literally had friends leave Houston because dating was so bad. And they've like left and lost like weight and graduated and happy and families and this. And are we tripping?
I say all the time the dating pool is a dating swamp, but the dating pool in Houston is literally Lake Lanier. First off, my woman, don't ever date a Houston man. And I can say that because I'm from here. Don't ever date a Houston man. Houston men want to be treated like a princess. They're super superficial, super shallow, have no depth. Like, everything about Houston is about status and money when it comes to Houston men. Like, that's all it is. It literally is now Atlanta men. Houston men are the new Atlanta men. And on the other hand, Houston women just want money. They just want money and they want to be taken care of. They want to be able to have their lives funded, go out every night, buy every bundle in sight, get a BBL, and just have fun. Everybody just wants to be tricked on and to have fun. And if you have a gay relationship out here in Houston and you guys have been going on for more than 4 months, hold on to that motherfucker for dear life. Can my gays find love in Houston? Yes, you can, but it will literally be a needle in a damn haystack. And y'all, one thing that I've noticed, it may not even be just Houston. I really think we're just living in hell on earth. Like, after COVID, a lot of people are saying that, like, there was either a glitch in the Matrix or now we're just living in the Matrix and the world actually ended during COVID. But I thought it was crazy at first, but now I'm starting to see it because these days, nothing makes sense. Like, nothing makes sense anymore. And things in Houston are absolutely amplified. But I will say this, with all the negatives aside, you still can come to this city and thrive. You still can come to this city and change your life for the better. You just have to avoid every single distraction. Now with me, it's easy to avoid the distractions because I find Houston to be completely boring. But I will say for the people that come out here, they act like they're a kid in the candy store. I know people that came out here, started out having a great time, but their life ended up going from sugar to shit because they had so many distractions in front of them. But if you can literally come out here and be disciplined and be clear of all the distractions and really stay focused, you can come out here and thrive and literally change your life for the better. But hey, at the end of the day, I talk all this shit, but I'm not going anywhere. Seriously though, I was making moves to move to California right before COVID hit, and then COVID hit and everybody from California ended up moving to Texas, and now the whole world is moving to Texas. And it feels like every single company and even Hollywood is starting to move to Texas. So I'm kind of just like, well, fuck it, might as well just stay here. Coupled with the fact that the cost of living, even though you guys are raising it, it's still better than everywhere else in this world, especially when it comes to major cities. And even though the housing market has gone to shit, you still can find a good house out here in Houston. So I will say, no matter what doesn't go my way, when it comes to living in Houston, I'm still going to stay. But overall, y'all, I've literally had to just make peace with the fact that, you know, things aren't going back to the way they were before COVID or even in the past. Like, things may be getting worse as time progresses, but they're never going to revert to the past. Like, I've had to make peace with the fact that Houston is a brand new bitch with bundles and a BBL. Like, I truly had to make peace with living in hell. Houston ain't shit, and it's never going to be, but I will say I'm proud to say that I'm from Houston and that I'm from Texas, because a lot of people can't say that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video. If you guys live in Houston, let me know, do you guys notice this shift, this low vibrational shift into the Houston of today? And also the people that came to move here, like, how are things going your way out here? Like, how are you guys loving and liking living in Houston? But those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna come back at you guys with some more content. Time can't erase